Hey guys, so I had a request to do a video about my relationship with Savannah's father, Brett. So I'm going to do my best to do that. I'm going to start from when we met until now, basically. So hopefully this does not turn into a bashing video, but it might. So I will start on that now. So basically we met when I was in grade 10. I was 14. Close to 15, but I was 14. And he was 17. So I had just switched schools because of problems at my other school. So I was just starting there. It was a few weeks into class, and I met him through one of my new friends. And basically, it was kind of like an instant attraction. Like, we started dating probably a week later, and we started to hang out a lot. But once I met him, I slowly started to lose my old friends. I think it was a combination of just switching schools, but I also think it was him, like, just wanting me to spend time with him. And he was really, really jealous and insecure about other people and made drama with them, so it made it really hard for me to make friends at this new school. So I ended up switching back schools because of all the drama at this new school from him in the spring. And it was kind of weird with all my old friends because I hadn't been talking to them that much because of him. And we actually just broke up after I switched schools. We broke up for like 3 weeks or something like that. So I tried to get back in with my old friends. I started hanging out with some other people too, but it just wasn't the same. So it kind of made high school really hard. And then we got back together. And a few months later, he got in a big fight with my dad. And the cops were called. And I can't believe that I stayed with him. It's just looking back on things that happened really make me wonder what was going through my head. But yeah. So after that, he didn't come over to my house for a year or longer. And we spent most of the time at his house or when we went out, which he never took me out or anything. So I switched back the schools in the spring, and then in the fall he came to the school that I went back to. And when I had been hanging out with other people and starting to talk to my new friends who didn't like him because they knew he didn't treat me well, so it made it harder with them. And he was really controlling and lied to me a lot. He wanted to make himself sound better, and really it just played with my emotions a lot. Like, he told me that he wrote some songs that I looked up and were not written by him, and I just overlooked these things all the time, and I don't know why, because I don't know why you'd want to be in a relationship with somebody if you clearly know they're lying to you. So it was a really bad situation. But by this point, I felt like I needed him. Like, if we were to break up, like, I would be so sad. I would cry, and it just tore me apart. And I just don't really understand how I could have felt this way about somebody like that. At this other school, the reason why he switched was because he got kicked out for apparently spitting in somebody's face. Now, the principal's. Now, if that's what actually happened, I don't know, because I do realize now that he lied a lot. And then he got kicked out of this other school that he followed me to after one semester for punching somebody that I had used to be friends with. The next year, because it was so bad with people at these schools, I ended up switching and starting a new program, and I had a really good time there. That was until second semester when I got pregnant with Savannah. So once I got pregnant with her, me and her father started to grow apart. which looking back on it is a good thing now. We maybe hung out once a week, if that. And then, like, the lies that he began to tell me were more serious ones because they did affect Savannah. He told me that he got a job and was working, and like, we would go out. Like, I remember specifically one time when we went out, he kept getting calls from someone. He told me it was his friend. Now, I don't know who they were actually from. He told me it was his friend later, but at that time he told me that it was his work calling him to come in and that he had to go. And this person called probably 4 times during dinner, and I still don't know who it was for sure. So yeah, he told me he had a job and he didn't, and I was pregnant and I was working this whole time. I worked at McDonald's, but it doesn't really matter that it was McDonald's, it was still a job. And he wasn't doing anything for us, and he wasn't even looking for a job. And then my graduation came around, and I was excited for graduating high school because it had been a really bad experience for me, but like, I got through it. And he made my graduation about him, and he kind of ruined the entire thing. And he made up a big lie that his dad had a heart attack or something. Like, who makes that up? So yeah, he made that up, and I ended up crying and yelling and getting in a big fight with him, and it ruined my whole graduation. And that was the last time I saw some of those people that I had a really good time with that year, and he ruined that for me. And then I've just found out recently that one of my sister's boyfriends in the summer saw him with another girl downtown. They're not for sure that it was him, but they're pretty sure. And so they think he was cheating on me while I was pregnant as well. And then in September, he got a job finally, after he had been looking all that time, and got fired after maybe a month, if that. And then I had Savannah, and I just realized like what kind of person he was. When she was a week old, I would not talk to him for like an entire day and call him, and he'd be out drinking with his friends while I was at home with the newborn baby. And I just realized how much she meant to me and how much he didn't mean to me at this point. So when she was like 2 weeks old, we broke up. Or I broke up with him, and then didn't really hear from him after that until I filed for custody of her. And I saw him in court on January 28th. And we scheduled that he could have visits with her at a supervised access center. And I mailed in or faxed in my forms there, and they're supposed to call when they're both faxed in, and I still haven't heard from them, and it's now February 16th. So I still don't think he really wants to see her, but I'm honestly so glad that he's not in my life. So that's basically what happened with Savannah's father and why he's not around. And I'm not really surprised that he's not around at this point. But yeah, so it's a little bit personal stuff, I guess, but you guys wanted to know, so I told you, and kind of bitter towards him, but that is the story. So hopefully I will make another video soon, and thanks for watching, guys. Bye.